Hello and welcome to the Shane Hoffman Show, where I am so conceited and so narcissistic that I named to show off myself. Just kidding. I'm not a narcissist, but this is literally the Shane Hoffman Show because, well, I'm Shane Hoffman and I'm your host. And this show looks to combine the three categories of fantasy, fitness, and fun to give you a show where you can come, if you're a nerd, where you can come if you want to get jacked and ripped and build muscle, because that's what I do for a living. Or when I say the aspect of fun, for me, fun is whatever I deem fun. In this case, I'd like to talk about my hobbies, which pro wrestling is a hobby of mine. And so that is something I would like to talk about. And so we've got three different categories here and a multitude of different topics and conversations that we are going to combine into one episode per week, sometimes two. And that is how I'm going to typically run these shows. Now, I will include timestamps in the description below because I know not everybody's here because they like Superman. Not everybody's here because they like fitness. Not everybody's here because they want to listen to wrestling. Some people want to listen to different things. So we're going to start out with, right, having timestamps in the description so you could skip to whatever you'd like. But in today's start of today's episode, I want to go over the fantasy portion of things. So the superhero stuff, right? The nerdy stuff, the stuff I really like to talk about. And so if you're interested in that stuff, we're going to dive right into it. First things first. It is in this time right now, I got three things I want to discuss today. I want to discuss the Batman Caped Crusader leaked pictures for what the show is going to look like, talk about it, speculate about it. I want to discuss the My Adventures with Superman Season 2 trailer, kind of teasers that have come out about it, maybe talk a little bit about Season 1. And then lastly, I want to talk about that new James Gunn Superman suit leak. Because, man, there's a lot we got to go over with that. So, first things first. Batman Caped Crusader. If you're unaware what Batman Caped Crusader is, it is a show that was supposed to release on Max, but ended up being cut and bought by Amazon because of things that need to be cut over at Warner Brothers. They were ditching some projects. This new Batman show where the original workers on Batman the Animated Series, I believe like Tim Burton, and I know Matt Reeves is on the project, and a few of those guys who've worked on the Batman the Animated Series show back when I was growing up, or rather when my older brother was growing up. I kind of grew up with that wacky Batman show that came out more of the 2000s because I'm a 2000s kid. But I digress. Batman Caped Crusader is basically everything that the creators of Batman the Animated Series want to do but couldn't because it was a kid's show. So it's going to be a very dark show. And if you haven't seen the leaked pictures of it, it's very eminent. With these leaked pictures that, and I'll put them up here, right? I'll put a few of them up here so you can see that, it's going to be a pretty different type of show. And that is really imminent as we look here with Harley Quinn. Tim Burton was said, he was the co-creator of Harley Quinn. And he's looking forward to shifting Harley Quinn from being just the Joker's girlfriend to more of her own character. She is now Asian, so Harley Quinn is now Asian in this show. But besides that, she is also kind of a fun, quirky psychologist who then, when she dons the persona of Harley Quinn, becomes frightening. Now, I'm going to go over my opinion of this before we talk about the other things that we saw. I don't hate it. I know some people are angry about it. I've seen some people angry about it because like, you're changing the fundamental of Harley Quinn. She has this dynamic with the Joker, and I get it. There's a reason it gets a pass for me, a few reasons. Reason number one, this is the co-creator of Harley Quinn, so if anyone's allowed to change Harley Quinn and allowed to change her typical character dynamics, it's the guy that created her, number one. Number two, I think it's a change for the better. I agree with the fact that Harley Quinn has just kind of felt like the Joker's girlfriend and doesn't really have her own character. So I kind of can appreciate an approach to where we're making her taken seriously. Now, if this is going to be a replacement for the Joker, I really don't think they'll do this, and I hope to God they don't do this. If this is going to be a replacement for the Joker, and the Joker's not going to make an appearance, and we're switching Batman's main protagonist of the Joker to Harley Quinn, then I'll have issues with it. But for now, it seems like Harley Quinn's just, maybe she'll meet up with the Joker at some point, and we'll see how that turns out. But I like the idea of taking Harley Quinn and making her this scary persona. I like the idea of a more serious route to Batman's villains, including Harley Quinn. I know you got to have some lighthearted ones here and there, but I like the idea of making Harley Quinn a frightening character. I really do. I think there's a lot of room to play around with, and I think if there's anyone that has the right to do it, it's the creator of the show. Now, the show itself seems to be, or has been stated to take place in the 1940s, which is interesting. And I don't know how I feel about that. I like it on certain levels. I like the fact that we're going to this kind of nitty-gritty time period. The animation style looks pretty dang great. I like the way the animation of the 40s looks. I just don't know how well adapted it's going to fit into modern times. I don't know how well adapted people are going to be able to turning their brains of the modern world off in order to relate to and fit into this world of the 40s. Here's what I like about it. In a digital age where technology would solve a lot of Batman's problems or even make it kind of virtually impossible for him to have a secret identity in the first place, the 40s period kind of takes away from that. It takes that away. And it gives us this thing to where smartphones don't exist. A lot of modern technologies don't exist. So with that, you can get this very crime-esque drama cartoon, kind of like the Batman, if you see it, Matt Reeves is the Batman movie, but you take away this element of technology into it, meaning that Batman is probably going to have access, because Bruce Wayne's a billionaire, right? He's going to have the highest quality of technology for that time, or some fantastical technologies, not fantastical in the sense of like flying cars, but like fantastical technologies of that time because he's Batman. That I like. That I can get behind. And the art style of this animation, I really get behind. I really, 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 really get behind the art style here. And we take a look at the bat suit itself. I rock with it. And I don't think this is going to be his only suit. I think this is obviously very early in his career, and we're going back to those first issues of Detective Comics when Batman was first introduced. I really like that. So I do not think this is going to be his only suit. I think his suit will grow as the series progresses. I don't know if they even will do a season 2 or anything like that, but I do not think it'll be his only suit. But I like it. I like it a lot, actually, as a callback to original Batman. And I love the long, pointy ears. This is a Batman here that you can kind of be afraid of. I like that suit. It looks like just the classic Batman suit, and I can really, really, really appreciate it. So we have this next picture here, besides Batman, right, and Harley Quinn. The next one I want to go over here is Clayface. I'm 100% down with it. If this is the Clayface, the Golden Age Clayface here that we're going with, I am 100% down with it, and I'll tell you why. Clayface as a big clay monster, while it's cool and while I think it was adapted in Batman the Animated Series perfectly, and I mean perfectly, if you haven't watched Batman the Animated Series, by the way, go watch it. The show is a classic. Kevin Conroy, rest in peace. Perfect Batman. But, man, there's something about a Golden Age serial killer Clayface with a scary mask that walks around killing people to do murder mysteries that I just think is so detective noir-esque of Batman. You see, that's more of an interesting Clayface for me. The monster guy, yeah, it was cool, it was adapted cool, but man, there's just something really cool about having Batman go up against a serial killer. And one with like a scary mask at that, who calls himself the Clayface, right? Maybe he's cutting people's faces off, like in the Golden Age, right? Maybe I sound a little screwed up for saying this, but I dig that. I don't actually dig someone going around cutting people's faces off, but I dig a kind of more sinister, monstrous, scary version of Clayface. Again, going back to like the Harley Quinn thing, like a scarier version versus the actor that wants to portray other people to be the best actor in the world. I just think when you go from a dark, when you think of Batman, you think of dark, right? Approach, it vibes with me, and I like it. Another thing I like is the Catwoman costume. We're going very Golden Age 40. Again, you keep using that word Golden Age, right? Of Catwoman here. You see that's a picture of Selena Kyle, Bruce Wayne. Good stuff. I like it. You know, I don't have much to comment on these. It's this classic Catwoman here. Bruce Wayne, he looks like Bruce Wayne. I dig it. I dig the animation style. Selena Kyle looks like Selena Kyle. I am excited for this show. And I really think that this show is going to prosper because of the fact that kind of like the handcuffs are off, right? This is going to be more of an adult style show, which I like. Even by like the original art, if you look up the original Batman Caped Crusader, like the announcement with the like the pilots or the whole show art, right? The first art that was ever released for it. It looks very detective noir, very Gotham-like. And I believe that we're going to get a show that kind of almost like The Batman by Matt Reeves felt like the Arkham games. To where we're not dealing with this like childish type of stuff in Batman. It's going to feel like the gloves are off and we can tell like a real adult Batman story through animation and through the form of a show. Which, I mean, the video games are some of the best Batman stories I've ever seen or played through in this case, right? So I'm excited to kind of not have to play with a controller, right? I get to just sit my butt down and watch that unfold. I'm very excited. So that's my 2 cents on Batman Caped Crusader here. Okay, so moving on from Batman Caped Crusader, we got to talk about this My Adventures with Superman show. Now, to tell you how much I adored this show, my girlfriend, who is not really... You know what? Maybe she is now. She certainly wasn't before she met me. She's not a nerd, right? Maybe she's a little bit of a nerd now. Surely she wasn't before she met me. But I've gotten her into like Invincible. She loves Invincible. That's her favorite one. We've watched Invincible Season 1 and Season 2 together. She loved the Spectacular Spider-Man show I got her to watch with me. She's excited for Batman Caped Crusader coming out. We're going to watch that together. But she loved My Adventures with Superman Season 1. We loved it. We watched it. We went on a cruise together last July when it first came out. And we watched the first 2 episodes in our stateroom together, just to show you how much we liked the show. It was great. We enjoyed the whole thing, and we are very much looking forward to... She even asked me the other day, when are the new episodes coming out? She's super excited for it. And she's not even a nerd, right? But they managed to get the charm and innocence and hope of Clark Kent Superman and put it into an anime style animation, like an anime, not like a cartoon, but like a Japanese anime style for Superman. And it works. That's the craziest part. There's a lot of weird things that they're doing that they did in Season 1 that I wasn't sure of how I'd feel about it. Some weird takes on certain characters like Deathstroke and Superman's origin and his dad and the blue electricity power things, and we're going to probably find out more about that in Season 2. But I'm ecstatic for it. Supergirl's going to make an appearance in Season 2. I can't wait to see how that plays out. And my favorite part of that trailer, man, Lex Luthor, we're getting him. And you know what? Good job to whoever's running the show, because they didn't pull the trigger of Lex in Season 1. They waited till Season 2, and now we're finally going to get that iconic rivalry between Superman, Clark Kent, and Lex Luthor. And you know what? Good work. Good work, because you earned it. You made the audience earn it, So I think that My Adventures with Superman Season 2 is definitely going to, at least from what it seems like so far, just build upon the fantastic work they've already done. What a show it was. What a good interpretation of Superman it was. While different, might not be everybody's cup of tea, because it's got elements of classic Superman in there, but I wouldn't say it's classic Superman, but it's definitely got a modern spin on it. And for sure, there's things that are done differently from like the classic tale or like the original Christopher Reeves movie or even the Superman the Animated Series. It does a lot of things different from that, but that was good itself. I watched that full series, by the way, and I enjoyed it. But My Adventures with Superman does even better, in my opinion, with everything on that. And just with some things that maybe are a little weird to me just because I haven't seen it before, but I have to see how it plays out. And I'll be able to see how things play out even more in Season 2. So, we're getting Lex Luthor. We're getting Supergirl. We're gonna really see how this season turns out. I'm excited for it. Now we got to talk about this Superman suit. And this suit has got the whole internet divided on it. And I've got some thoughts here. So I'm going to put it up on screen here so you guys can see it here. And I mean, the first thing that catches your eye isn't even really the suit. It's like there's this giant, big, colorful ball laser in the background. Superman just kind of lazily putting on his boot there, like, yep, I'll get to it soon. The world's under attack, right? Now, to be fair, couple things. One, I think this was put in there on purpose. No one just accidentally put that in the background of the photo that James Gunn put out there and said, "Oh crap, we forgot to." No, that was purposefully put in there. Two, I don't even know if this was taken like. Obviously, it was taken on set, but was this taken like as part of the movie, or was this just like David Cornsweet? I think is how you pronounce his name. Was this just him like suiting up when cameras are about to get rolling and James Gunn is just like, hold it right there for a picture. This is perfect, right? We don't even know. So a lot of people saying lazy Superman while the world's burning and he's there putting on his boots. I don't even know if this was taken in like film for the movie. This could have just been a picture taken by that camera, or a shot taken by that camera that they used specifically for the picture. We don't know. But regarding the suit itself, disregarding the weird looking laser ball in the background and the context of the picture, let's look at the suit itself. I can't help but compare it to Henry Cavill's suit and say, yeah, Henry Cavill's suit looks more like a modern, right? Actual alien, expensive effort put into it Superman suit. Because when you look at the suit that James Gunn Superman suit here, I will say I like it. I don't hate it. Some people don't like the lines on it. I actually like the lines. I think it modernizes the costume, which I think if you're going to have like an alien-esque costume, I think it needs to look kind of somewhat armored. Plus, then they're like, why does Superman need armor? He's invincible. Okay, yeah, but you don't want to sew your suit every like 5 minutes, right? So he might be invincible, but it's probably annoying to keep sewing your suit all the time. But I also like the look of it, like it was some sort of Kryptonian technology. I know there's also where Superman's mom makes him the suit, and that's a completely different argument, right? His Earth mom, Martha Kent, right? This looks like more it was absolutely made by Kryptonian. It was sent with him with his ship, right? Kind of like in the My Adventures with Superman cartoon, where that was that case, right? However, when we look at this suit here, there's a few things I don't like about it. Number one, it's baggy on him. Like, it looks kind of baggy on him. And David Cornsweet is a jack dude. Like, everyone's going to compare his body to Henry Cavill, which Henry Cavill's just a freaking freak of nature. Fills out the suit. But I think a lot of the disservice and the comparisons to Henry Cavill's physique here is Henry Cavill's suit fits him like a glove. Like, it was made skin tight to enhance his musculature and physique. David Cornsweet's suit, the James Gunn suit here, is not made for that for some reason. I can understand it be the wrist being a little longer, baggy at the wrist, as they're clearly going for like a new 52. If you don't know what the new 52 suit is, it's like one of the more modernized Superman suits from the comics. They're clearly going for that between like a cross between that, the classic suit, and the Kingdom Come suit here. So I don't mind the wrists. But the suit itself, just even in the traps in the chest area, looks a little baggy. I don't like the dark blue. I wish it was a little shinier. Maybe it's just the lighting here, but I wish it was like a little shinier, kind of like Henry Cavill's suit has that shine to it. I do like the crest. The Kingdom Come logo is growing on me. So I do like the crest and the chest piece. I like it big. I like a big crest on the chest there, so I like how that's bigger. The S there is growing on me. It's not the classic Superman S, but that's okay. I don't mind it. I like it. Feels a little more Kryptonian, a little more alien. The trunks, man. Everybody likes the trunks, and I'm not against the trunks, but I prefer a Superman without the trunks. I know, don't shoot me. It's classic Superman to have the trunks. I get it, and I like it. It's not like I hate it. I think it is classic Superman. I like it. I just prefer a Superman without the trunks. I like the belt. But the trunks, I like them because they're classic Superman. But other than that, when I think of like a badass Superman suit, I think of like Henry Cavill's suit feels like a Superman suit. Like if we were to have a Superman, I couldn't. But then again, the trunks are classic Superman. I can't hate it. It feels like classic Superman. I love the idea that James Gunn put them on there. I'm hoping this signals a more hopeful, joyful, happy Superman, so I can't hate it. I'm happy with the trunks. I'm happy with the S. The cape looks good. Some people hate the collar. I don't know how to feel about the collar because I get it. They're going like for a cross with the new 52, so cool. The collar, see, I don't hate it. I kind of like it, but I could have gone with a no collar. But I don't have a big problem with that. My biggest problems with the suit are just the lines are a little bit weird, but I do like them. I think the biggest issue for me is just the fit of the costume and the material. It just doesn't look it like people have been comparing it to the CW Superman suit, and like when my homemade Superman suit like that I wore for Halloween has like a better fit to me. Yeah, that's where it's like, you know. That's just how I feel about it. I wish the suit looked like a higher quality suit. I hate to say it like that because I'm sure the movie's going to be very high quality. And again, I like elements of the suit. I don't hate the suit. I like it, but I just wish that the suit had that. And maybe it's just the lighting. And when the film comes out, I'll eat all these words when I see it on screen, right? And I hope that's the case. That's probably pre-edited and stuff like that. So we'll have to see it on screen. But those are my thoughts on the suit, and I love the boots. Love the boots. Nothing against the boots. Boots are perfect. But those are my thoughts on the suit. Obviously, James Gunn thought that the suit looked great and the picture was right, or he wouldn't have leaked it. So we'll have to see what he does with this Superman, but this is all we have to go off for now. And you know what? I don't hate it. I like it. I can't say I love it. It's not my all-time favorite just yet. But it is growing on me, especially that S and that crest. Love that part of the costume of the suit there. So we'll just have to see how it continues to look. Moving on to the next portion of the show here. We've got wrestling to talk about. So if you are a wrestling fan, this is the place to be. And here we are going to cover not just wrestling reviews, not just wrestling predictions and speculations, but I am actually training to be a pro wrestler. Could you believe that crap? Yes. So I'm going to actually be talking about my experience as a pro wrestler. And man, let me tell you, today's focus of the show is going to be my experience with the beginning stages of training, my body's response to it, my mental response to it, and my recovery protocol as not just a professional wrestler, but obviously a health and fitness professional, as someone who takes his health very seriously, and some of the recovery protocols I'm doing to make sure that I am in tip-top shape for not just being in shape within the ring, but to come back and train 3 nights a week. So I started about almost a month ago now, and I'm at the point now where I'm doing a lot of footwork stuff, headlock takedowns, hammer locks, wrist locks, slightly running the ropes, but not so much. I've been taking back bumps. I have not done a big bump. These are all fancy wrestling terminology. If you don't know what a back bump is, it's basically anytime you fall and you hit the mat, right? You want to tuck your chin always. Anytime you fall and you hit, right? It's called a bump, whether it's a face bump, a back bump, a big bump like when you're taking a choke slam, right? Or a flip bump. I've not got to big bumps or flip bumps or face bumps yet. But I want to talk a little bit about my experience. But first off, it sucks. No, I'm kidding. It hurts. Anyone that calls wrestling fake clearly has never done it before. And yes, it is choreographed. Yes, it is scripted. Yes, there is an art to it. And that's probably some of the most beautiful things about wrestling is the storytelling aspect of it. But man, it doesn't like tickle when you hit that mat. You feel it. Now, was it as bad as I thought it was going to be? I did my first bump and I definitely felt it, but I was like, it's not so bad. It really doesn't hurt, But there are some physiological responses you get from it, Like I had a couple headaches. I didn't even hit my head. It's just from hitting the mat, right? And stuff like that. And I actually am lucky enough to where a lot of the guys hate me for this. I haven't been that sore yet at all. I've been actually getting up. I get up to work out like 4 or 5 in the morning. I finish training like 9 p.m. at night. And I feel fine, the next day. The biggest thing for me isn't really the physicality of it. I'm an in-shape guy. I'm a personal trainer, exercise science degree. I understand the body pretty well. It's the mental. The thing I love the most about it is the mental barrier of knowing that this is the hardest thing I'm going to do. And knowing it's the hardest thing I'm going to do, I get to continuously challenge myself week after week, night after night with it. And that is, it's like literally measurable progress. Am I getting better at something? When we talk about the fitness world, are you getting better? Are you getting stronger? Here, this is another aspect to test myself in with something I'm not good at yet. One of my favorite quotes ever, in order to look like a badass, right, like a wrestler that looks really good at what he does, you have to be first willing to look like a dumbass. And I look like a fucking dumbass right now, let me tell you. I look stupid. I suck. My rolls are still garbage. I'm rolling around, my back rolls, my drag rolls, my quarter rolls, my front rolls, they all still suck, still get dizzy. My bumps suck. I still don't know how to land completely on the upper back. I keep wanting to catch myself. And I love that shit because I just get to keep progressing. I'm going to one day be better than where I am, at a place where I'm better when I'm down the line, much down the line, ready for my first match. And I look back at where I started and went, damn, like I really came far. And that's one of my favorite aspects of doing this is I've always been a fan as a kid. And now not only like was I a fan and said, I'm going to try it, but I went through with it. And I'm doing it. And there's a level of pride with that. Like, yeah, I suck right now. But there's this level of like, but I took that leap of faith and I'm actually doing it. So if you're someone that's thinking about doing something, whether it's starting something or going through with something, there's going to be a lot of people that tell you the negatives about it. Oh, you can get hurt. You can do this. Then what are you going to do? What, you're going to wrestle in a high school gym? Or, oh, really? You're going to go do that? Like, why are you going to go do that? Like, man, do it. It's your life. If it makes you happy, if you see a point to it, if you want to get better at a skill. A lot of people are going to have opinions on what you should do with your life. And a lot of people had opinions on me doing this with mine. But man, I get to do it and it makes me happy and I feel good doing it and I like it. And I feel when I get in that ring like I'm living that childhood dream of, man, I'm happy just the fact that I stepped in between the other side of those ropes. It just feels cool to do that. I've been on the outside end of those ropes for years as a spectator, and now I get to be in the inside. And that's a feeling I really can't describe. Now, what are my recovery protocols for this? Well, my recovery protocols have tripled down since I started professional wrestling, okay? Let me tell you this. As someone who loves lifting weights, that's never been an issue for me. The flexibility, mobility aspect, even when I was a coach, I started prioritizing that more, have always been on my back burner. I am the most flexible that I've ever been in my entire life now, and that is by simply, I have to be. I can't risk getting hurt here. I got to get up and go to work the next day. My business is growing with the in-person training that I'm doing. We're kicking butt here. I'm doing more online ventures. I need to be at the tip-top shape of my life. I need to be at my top game, so my recovery is of most importance to me. And let me tell you, right now, my flexibility and mobility routine is, I am prioritizing that till the cows come home. I'm the most flexible that I've ever been. Alongside that, I'm starting to look into even a sauna and cold plunge for myself, my own. But I do the sauna for inflammation, cold water. For now, it's just a shower, but I'm going to be getting a cold plunge at some point to help with decrease inflammation. Soft tissue work. I've been doing my Theracane, right, for my neck, and the lacrosse ball, the foam roller for my back, the soft tissue work, maybe getting a couple massages. And I'm not even that, so I think maybe part of the reason why I have not experienced a lot of soreness just yet, even though I've been taking a lot of back bumps, especially as recent, has been my recovery priority. I wake up early, I get great sleep, I'm in bed by 9, 10. My sleep also, that's another aspect of it, is I am regimented. I am up early anyway because I got to work out and I got clients to take care of. So I get up early. So I make sure to get enough sleep to where I'm getting my 7 to 8 hours a night, because if I don't and I feel it the next day, well, I got 2 workouts I got to do now. I got wrestling and I got my normal workout, right? And both are important. So I make sure to get enough sleep, number one. But when I wake up early, I jump out of bed. Like, I've got this energy to me. And I think a lot of the reason is A, I'm getting a good amount of sleep. B, I'm prioritizing those modalities that I mentioned, where I'm doing my cold water, my heat, my stretching, my soft tissue work, my food and water. I mean, look at this. I drink 2 of these a day. I'm going to drink right now. But I'm getting 2 of these a day. I've got meal preps in the fridge. My girlfriend, who usually, God bless her soul, is my biggest supporter, and she preps my meals for the week. Love that woman. But she's in Brazil for the month now. And so what I do, I went to this, I'm lucky enough to have this meal prep company near my house. I went there and I got a fridge full, stacked of meals. And I'm eating like every 3 to 4 hours, high protein meals, decent amount of carbohydrates, some healthy fats. Getting all my stuff in because I know I need it. Healthy stuff, anti-inflammatory stuff, some blueberries, anti-inflammatory, ginger, turmeric, things that are gonna make my life easier because I need it. I need to be recovered, plain and simple. So I am prioritizing my recovery to the cows come home, especially now with this new hobby. Right now I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm the strongest I've ever been. Cardiovascularly, let me tell you, that ring work, I haven't been in a match yet, but even by the stuff I'm just doing, it is one thing to do cardio, isn't a thing to do cardio and you have to run around the ring, throw your back to the floor, get up, do it again. Like that is not just cardiovascular, that is mental cardio, how much you can take, right? That is more mental cardio than anything. So my cardio and my mental endurance through this has skyrocketed. It's translated to other areas of my life where if I can handle this, I can handle other things like my confidence with things. This is probably one of the hardest things I've ever done, but one of the most rewarding and fruitful, ironically. So that's my experience with starting professional wrestling training, and I'll keep everybody updated as I continue my journey into winning championships. Next part of the show, though, right? Wrestling speculation. Cody Rhodes, WWE, right? Cody Rhodes is Cody Rhodes is set, to take on Logan Paul in a title-for-title match for both the United States Championships and the WWE Championship, or the undisputed WWE Championship at Crown Jewel. And I got to say, that's going to be great. I don't know how people feel about Logan Paul. Well, let me change that statement. I don't know how people feel about Logan Paul as a wrestler versus him as a person. I don't know the guy personally. He's obviously very successful. He's entered his way into WWE. He skipped the line, so to speak, right, of other pro wrestlers there, but you cannot say it's not well-deserved. He's done incredible work on WWE television. I mean incredible work. Fantastic, incredible work. This guy has really learned the business quick. He plays into his natural strength of being a dick and a heel, and he does that so well. And I think that him and Cody Rhodes are going to cook. They're going to make such an incredible match. I don't think that anyone's going to be a set winner. Logan Paul's definitely not winning that match. Cody Rhodes is not winning the United States Championship with the WWE title. I think that'd be a mistake. Do I think that it would really solidify Cody as the top guy? Yes, but I don't think you need that right now. Cody's already solidified as the top guy. He doesn't need a higher solidification for that. I think one of two people needs to take that belt off Logan Paul. You either do LA Knight, like people have been speculating for a while, or what I really think needs to happen is Jey Uso needs to be the guy to take that belt off Logan Paul. I personally think that back at Backlash, Jey Uso should have dethroned Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight title. Why? We've given him too many chances now for a singles title, and he hasn't won a single one of them. And now he was beaten by Priest clean in the middle of the ring. Now, Jey Uso's so over now to the point where he can kind of take that and it doesn't really even affect him, and he just beat Ilya Dragunov the previous Raw to advance in the King of the Ring, and maybe he wins the King of the Ring against Gunther. I think personally he should, because I think we need to do something with Jey Uso. Use his name as main event. I think he should have won the world title, and then McIntyre, when he's healed at Scotland Clash at the Castle, could have been the guy to beat him for it. But I digress. Obviously, that is not the case. They're going to go for Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest at some point now is what they're building to. I like that as well, but I think if we're going to do something with Jey Uso then, he needs to be the guy to dethrone Logan Paul, to solidify him in his first singles titles reign. I think that one of those two guys needs to be the guy to defeat Logan. So no, I do not think Cody Rhodes is going to do it. I also just don't think a title unification is what WWE needs right now. They've had that recently, when or a couple years ago when they combined the Universal title and the World Heavyweight title, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and then they obviously had to bring back the World Heavyweight Championship that is now held by Damian Priest because of the fact that they need to split the titles up. So I don't think that having a title unification right now favors anybody. Even if Cody Rhodes does win the United States title, well, now he's going to have to get to a point sometime soon where he loses one of those belts, right? Probably going to be the U.S. title. And now we're just hurting Cody Rhodes because now he's losing to some other guy who's going to take the U.S. title off him. So I don't think we need that. I don't think Cody Rhodes needs that title right now. I think Logan Paul is doing a great job with it. I think that having Logan Paul, the U.S. title, go to battle against the WWE champion is good for the U.S. title. I think it puts it in a highly new bracket, which is awesome. And we're making the U.S. title feel prestigious, that it's going toe-to-toe with the WWE title. I think the match should be close, but I think there's going to be a shenanigan involved. But I like that. We're elevating the U.S. belts, and we're elevating Logan Paul at the same time. And again, he's incredible. So I think that him and Cody Rhodes are going to have a great match. Something's going to have to go down with that. I don't know what that is. We'll see. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it. But yeah, we'll have to see what that match entails. If I was booking it, if I'm Triple H, right, and I'm booking how I want this match to end, right, with shenanigans, I think this shouldn't be a thing where the next U.S. title challenger interrupts against Logan Paul. I think this is a good opportunity to start setting up Cody Rhodes' SummerSlam opponent, right? And maybe what you can do is this is when Roman Reigns can maybe make his return. Or maybe this is when The Rock can make his return. Or if The Rock can't do it and Reigns isn't coming back now, right? You can have Gunther, right? Gunther win King of the Ring. Or, yeah, if Gunther wins King of the Ring, maybe he can come out there and solidify himself as Cody's opponent for SummerSlam. And I think that would be a great match. So you have options of where you can go. But if I was booking it, I would have it be whoever Cody Rhodes' next guy is. And I would go one of three directions for SummerSlam. I would go, if you can't do Rock or Roman, and I don't even think we should do Roman again. I don't think that's a good idea at all. He's obviously going to have his own stuff on SmackDown with the Bloodline. If it's not going to be The Rock, which it's not, because that's going to be a WrestleMania match, I think Gunther should be the guy to kind of get involved. He's been eliminated by Cody twice in the Royal Rumble. He's got legit beef with Cody with that, right? And now we can do that actual match. And I think that would be perfect. But it looks like they might be setting up Gunther versus Ilya Dragunov now. So we'll have to see what they're going to do. But again, I think they're going to cook, and it's going to be a great match. Up on the fitness portion of the show now. Thank you guys for sticking with the Shane Hoffman Show with me thus far. I appreciate it. We've gone over a lot of good stuff now, and now we got to talk about the fitness portion of things. I am a personal trainer, exercise scientist, and a coach at heart, and that is what I do for a living, and it is what I love. So we're going to talk about it. So the segment I have on fitness, the fitness portion here today, the easiest way to stick to a diet. I said it earlier in the show, if you weren't listening to that segment. I talked about meal preps and how I'm fortunate enough to have my girlfriend who meal preps for me. But even when she goes on like family trips, like she's in Brazil now, I have this, I'm not a sitting duck, right? Either option A, I would cook for myself and meal prep on Sunday, right? Or whatever time I had, right? I would use that day to prep my food for the whole week, but I don't have really the time necessarily to do that. So luckily enough, I have a meal prep company near my apartment, near my house, where I go and I pick up these already pre-made meals that I could put in the fridge and put in the freezer and have there. And guess what? Now I have meals on deck, and I'm already have high quality, healthy meals that have veggies, protein, carbs, right? And get all the stuff I need in to make eating easier. I'm not haphazardly running around getting fast food or having to eat out because I have everything prepared. So the easiest way to stick to your diet is super simple here. Prepare. For the life of me, I don't understand how people expect to be able to stay consistent with a nutrition plan if they're not prepared, if they don't have meal prep. I mean, I understand there's an effort part of it here. But I pose a question to you. Oh, it's too much work. I'm too tired after work. I'm too tired. I don't have time to meal prep. Then you'll forever be out of shape. You'll never have the body you want. And you'll never be able to stick to a diet consistently. And you'll always mess up because you won't take the time to do it. Does that make you feel better? No. Good. It shouldn't. You make the time and prioritize the things that are important to you. If you don't have time, which is bullcrap because everybody has time, to plan and prep your meals, then find a way to make it easier. You can buy things in bulk. You do know that, right? Pre-made grilled chicken breast, vegetables, fruits, even, right? You can get fruit. There's ways you can do it where you don't have to sit in front of a stove and cook if you really don't have the time to do so, which is okay. There's meal prep delivery services. Oh, they're too expensive. How many streaming services do you have? How many useless things that you don't even use do you have? Seriously, it's too expensive. How much crap do you have? How many times a week do you go out to eat that you can stop going out? How many times do you go out with the buddies to do happy hour? Or how many video games do you buy? Or how many, I don't know what people subscribe to, the OnlyFans account, I don't know what people subscribe to these days, right? How many things can you cut so that way you can actually prioritize the things that are going to get you to where you want to be? Your food is literally what goes into your body. You get one of these. You get one. The food goes in here. And you're not going to prioritize that? Are you kidding? That's like the one thing, all the things that are out of your control with things. So like the one thing that you have control over is what goes in your body and whether you exercise or not. Like it is one of the only things that's in your control. I mean, if you're not meal prepping, you're setting yourself up for failure, period. Because you cannot get to where you want to be doing this shit haphazardly and winging it. You can't. When it comes to your fitness training, you need a plan. When it comes to your eating, you need a plan. So where's your plan? Where's your execution? If you don't have your meals ready for you for the week, you're going to end up failing because you're going to get hungry at some point, or you're not going to have your meals with you, and you're going to stop off somewhere because you still need to eat. And then you go the spiral of being out of control. Or you're more likely to go out to eat out to eat at a restaurant that's not good for you, versus if you just had your own food. Now, I'm not saying you can't go out to eat and eat with your friends or your family. Of course you can and you should. But make smart choices there too. Plan. Where are you going? Look at the menu beforehand. Get a lean protein surrounded by some veggies. These are things that are going to ultimately just set you up to where you want to be. And if you're not making the choices to do that, then you really don't want it. I can't force you to want it, and that's okay if you don't want it. But you can't complain about not having the results you don't have if you're not willing to put in the work and make the thing a priority. You have to make the thing a priority. Your food needs to be a priority, period. The easiest way to stick to your diet is to prep and to plan. Because now it's done. You get home from work, you're too tired to cook. Instead of ordering DoorDash or Uber Eats, you open the fridge and there's your meal that you prepped the night before. Done. Instead of missing breakfast because you didn't have time to make your breakfast, you get up, boom, it's in your Tupperware, eat it in the car. Or eat it when you wake up. Just wake up a little earlier to eat your breakfast. Or when you get back from the gym in the morning, if you're going to the gym like you should. But it's in your control. It's in your hand. It's all up to you. I can't force you to do the prepping and do the work. But if you do the prepping and you do the work, you'll get where you want to be. That's simple. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today in episode 1 of The Shane Hoffman Show. I hope you found some value from this, especially with the fitness stuff at the end. Hope you enjoyed the entertainment side of things. Again, this is the show to go to if you want fantasy, fitness, and fun. We're here for it. I look forward to so many more episodes with you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.